You are listening to the Brand Architect Podcast, and this is your host, Ani Alexander.
Hey, welcome to the Brand Architect, the podcast that helps you establish your brand and grow your audience. I'm Ani Alexander, and today we're going to have a solo episode which hopefully will provoke some thought and help you look at things differently and hopefully encourage you as a result. But before we start, I want to warn you. Today, I want to talk to you about something that you may not like to hear. Many people prefer not to tell you this. Many people prefer to pretend this is not the case. But I need to tell you this anyway, because like that, by knowing it, you will be able to look at things realistically, and you will be able to avoid being disappointed because you had unrealistic expectations. So that's it. Whether you like it or not, I want to tell you the truth. Because I think that you deserve to know, and I think that that's fair. So, here is the truth. Building an engaged and loyal audience takes time and loads of content creation. So once again, building an engaged and loyal audience takes time and loads of content creation. Of course, all of those who advertise the attractive have quick results model pretend that it's not the case. You get all these: write a book in a day, create an online course in a week, grow your brand in a month type of messages all the time. And of course that's much more exciting than what I just said. It sounds so much better than my, it takes time and work and you have to be persistent and patient story, right? And I get that. I totally understand. But nevertheless, I prefer to tell you the bitter truth than the sugar-coated lie. So let me tell you what happened recently. I was walking in the city the other day and went to Covent Garden here in London. Usually, there are many different street performances out there, from music to magic tricks and, fun stuff like that. So, since I love watching people, I took some time and stuck around to watch what's going on. So I ended up seeing how one of the performers, the one who had the largest crowd gathered around him, finished for the day, so he said goodbye, he gathered his last portion of applauses, bowed, packed his stuff and left. Well, obviously the crowd too melted out, and after a few minutes there was no one around, and that space was empty. A few minutes later, something else happened. A slim guy with long hair came and started setting up his microphone in the exact same place. He set up the mic, he took out his guitar, and now it was his turn to start performing. So there he was, this guy all alone with his guitar and mic standing there. And I realized that probably that's exactly how we look when we're just starting from scratch. We have no audience, but we have the tools, and we have not created anything yet, and we get those uncomfortable fear of failure, self-doubt, and vulnerability of being judged. And the people, in our case the audience, pass by going to watch someone else performing because that someone else already has a crowd gathered around him, and therefore he must be good, right? At least that's the logic they follow. Well, what happened next? Yeah, the guy started playing his guitar and singing his song. Did everyone run and gather around him immediately? No, it took quite a while. For at least 2 full songs, the guy was standing there singing to no one. All by himself, he was creating his magic. No one noticed him yet. He did not have anyone to perform for yet. He was looking at people passing by, but he kept playing. And that's what happens to us too. We write blog posts, record podcast episodes, do videos, live stream, and for weeks no one comes, nothing happens. We feel like we are talking to ourselves. We feel invisible, unknown, unappreciated. At some point, we are like, oh, why the hell am I doing this? No one cares anyway, right? Well, let's go back to the guy. What happened to him? After a while, few people came and stood to listen. Then some more. After the song, they started clapping. Few others paid attention and joined as well. After a while, he got traction and gathered a pretty decent audience. So do you see the parallel? The guy showed up, took the courage to put himself out there, created his music, persisted even though no one paid attention for a while, kept going on, and only after all that things started moving slowly, right? So, what would have happened if he gave up after song 1? Exactly, nothing. And it's the same with us. We have to realize that there are others who do similar things out there already. That no one is going to notice us from day one. That we need to create something awesome, a great content, and create it consistently until people start gathering around us, and that we need to stick around and do our best not to give up, even when we think no one cares. Because honestly, no one will care in the beginning. And that's okay. That's how things are. Even the person who eventually fell in love with you did not care about you at your first encounter. Building and maintaining good quality relationships take time and effort. And that's what you ultimately need to have, a good quality relationship with your audience. So don't get distracted with all the shiny objects that promise you many subscribers, readers, and listeners in a week. Think long-term and think quality instead. And as I said, building an engaged and loyal audience takes time and loads of content production. So accept that fact and do your best. So what I need to know is, what are you going to create today? And what will keep you moving forward? If you need extra encouragement, if you need someone to keep you accountable or to keep you motivated, well, I'm here. You can drop me a line at annie@anniealexander.com. Annie spelled A-N-I. And if you have a minute between your content creation, just hop on to iTunes and leave me a review, please, because reviews really help podcasts grow. So that was it for today. I'll meet you in the next episode where we will have a very interesting interview coming up. So stay tuned, take care, and keep creating.